What's up, guys?
Hey, you got that sweet
Yo,
spot.
that's all right.
I saw that. That was good. That was
Oh,
good.
that was tasty. I'm Graham. Um, we have Jonathan,
Jonathan here.
and we got some accomplices lurking about. Um, Sam and Brad. But yeah, so this is the Toker's Lounge. We're just chilling. Jonathan, what's going on with you? How you doing, man?
I'm all right. I'm just trying to make sure that my vape's still going strong.
What
Sometimes
do
the
you?
cotton kind of burns out on you midway, right? And you gotta. I mean, you're more of a tank coil type guy, right? So with the RDAs, you can burn through the coil if just by not dripping enough. Sometimes you burn through it. Like I had the other day, ended up burning right through the cotton, and so I just got to keep an eye on that. That's all.
I got a buddy at work actually. He's got a dripper, and he's all day he's dripping. Uh, I don't like it because for me, it just requires that much more effort. I mean, the flavor
Yeah,
is better. The flavor is better, but I'd rather just be able to fill up my tank and have like a good couple hoots. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I enjoy it like that.
yeah. And this is preference, right? It's
Yeah.
always preference. So
So earlier you were talking about your record collection.
I was.
That seemed pretty cool. I like
Yeah. So
records. You can't see my records here,
so
but
yeah, I know you have because I've seen it live in person. You've
in
got a
person.
lot a much more substantial collection than I have. I mean, I'm less than a dozen um, actual records that I've got. I mean, some of them are double LP, so probably more than 12. But anyways, I found that there's certain kind of ways about obtaining collections and even varying opinions and kind of how to get to that. And for me, I've come across kind of a few things, and like even hearing from you telling me, check out this place. Yours has been amassed over years, if I'm not right.
Oh, I remember like being 14 and like I mean I didn't really have any record shops around me. There was this one place, DJ Depot, but like everything was
Oh,
like
gee,
$40. I didn't
yeah,
have $40. If I had $40, I was buying a whole bunch of records, not just one. And I used to go to like the Goodwill, and I'd go and rummage through the bins trying to find anything and anything that was recognizable. Even if the picture looked kind of cool, I'd check it out later on. I'd hear it, and I probably didn't like it. But then there was some stuff I did like, and I'd try to use it. I remember I even tried messing around. I'd record some of the stuff, try and sample it. But yeah, going around to all the Goodwills was how I started to amass my collection. That was probably around 13, 14, right around the time that I probably met you. I mean, I had a couple kicking around from my mom that
yeah.
she gave to me, but that was what set me off. Was a Bob Marley album. I was just like, this is cool, Bob Marley, and like I didn't smoke pot or anything then, but was just kind of inspired by the record collection. I thought that was cool. I thought it was really cool because they were.
Oh, your mic's cutting out.
Oh, I'm cutting out. I apologize. Like I said, that was the original kind of stuff. So that was what inspired me. And from there, yeah, I'd have to explore and find new places. And then, yeah, you'd find a record shop. Like as I got older, like going downtown Toronto, um, there was Spin the Record, uh,
Yeah,
Rotate This.
they're great.
Um,
I love that store.
yeah, what else? Black Market. Like, there's a couple of like niche little places that you could go and you could find some gems. Um,
And
Yeah, just
those were primarily record selling shops, like that sold
well,
primarily
what they
records.
like the best places were the ones that resold. Like you could go
Right.
into rotate this, and they'd have all the new stuff, right? Like Kid Cudi or that guy from London Shot.
Yeah.
Um, like they had all the new stuff that was coming out, and that's what you could go and get. That was awesome, right?
Right.
But if you had something in mind, if your friend told you about something you wanted to, you'd have to go to these niche little bare bones shops. Like they'd have a couple posters on, but it was just like it wasn't a well funded operation. It was just here we buy and sell records,
Yeah.
and the guys, like depending on who you got, maybe it was the time of day or the day of the week. There's some guys, like the younger guys, I found were more in tune and able to help you, where the older guys always seem to be like, well, either you know what you want or get out, kind of thing.
So
And
let's elaborate on that a little bit. The actual shop experience. And then you and I had a chat about this the other day, specifically about the vapes, right? So as an example, I've got three places that I've gone to here where I am in London, Ontario. There's Speed City Records. So you go in there, similar to what you're describing, a little bit dingy. The guy's got a couple pinball machines, which is pretty cool. Um, but primarily used records. He does have new ones as well too, and it seems like he's kind of moving up, to be honest. So there's that place, and the guy talks to you. You walk in, he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" Right? The guy went in. I bought um, I bought a used copy of Supertramp's the criminal record. Geez, I don't even know the name of it. Anyways, I bought a record
crime of the
and
century.
Crime of the Century. That's it. So yeah, everyone knows the album, right? Anyways, I tell him, I say, look, I just got this. My friend gave me a record player, and I'm kind of concerned about them scratching on the bottom because it's like this plastic kind of stuff. He's like, oh, you probably want a slip mat, but he's like, I don't really carry into those. Like those are for like DJs and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. Like, do you order them, or like how does that work? Like, is there a specialty place to get those? And we had this nice dialogue, and he's like, you know what? Just hold on a second. He goes in the back, comes out, gives me this like rubber mat, this circle slip mat, but it's not for slipping. It's just really to basically protect your record,
Yeah.
addressing exactly what I'm asking for him. I'm like, oh, great. And he's like, I'll throw it to you for free. I just bought a $5 record, and he threw me this thing for free. Doesn't know me from anything, right? But just that simple, engaging conversation. Now, on the other end, I then go to another record shop, which is a more established, um, non-chain record store called Grooves in downtown London. So I go in there and I'm looking at what they have, and they've got a lot of fairly newer stock.
Right.
Then they've got these weird. I actually even saw on the wall they had an advertisement for a record for $300, and it said super crackly. Like that was some draw for this record, and they were selling it for $300. I don't even, to be honest, I don't even know who the heck the person was. Even looking at it, it's not that I don't remember. I really don't know who that person was, who this artist was, or what this record was. And it kind of set the tone for the experience because I was wanting to get a copy of David Bowie's new record, the Black Star album,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it's got this cutout star in the front, and the album looks great. I heard it digitally, and I just really wanted to have it on a record. To also say I have a David Bowie record on LP, so I bought that. It was about $40. Um, but the entire time, like I'm trying to engage the guy and ask him questions, like, what do you have for record players? What do you recommend? I'm just getting into this. How do I get into collecting? And it was like, buy records. Come by. We do this. This is an event that we do here, right? Like it wasn't really much dialogue. And I even asked him about one of the record players that he had, um, but it wasn't quite addressed like what I was asking for. He's like, yeah, that one's $400. I was like, well, I was asking about the record player, not asking how much it was. So there's that other side, the we're full of ourselves type of stores, and I didn't quite like that. And then just this past weekend, I went to Sunrise, and I just happened to be in the mall. My wife went to go in and get some shoes somewhere, so I'm like, oh, I'll pop in the record shop. Maybe I can get a rock band T-shirt or something cool. And I go in, and there's a counter, and there's guys standing behind the counter. Not one of them engaged me, didn't even say hello. And I go in, I'm looking through the records, and they've got like you were saying earlier, right? They've got the new $40 plus records that people are going to be looking for. And as I'm going through it, like it's like, Justin Bieber, Taylor
Mm.
Swift, pop music that of course they've got to have to sell so that, they can stay afloat. But then I find in there a copy of a reissue of CCR's The Best Of. Now I have that exact same record that I bought from Value Village for $2, and they were selling it for $42.
Ah,
And and right then and there, I'm like, I am not buying a single record. I'm not supporting this. I can't. It's complete lunacy. Like you're going to reissue a record where there's hundreds of those records already out, being
yeah.
sold and resold to what, flood a market or to fill some kind of
Dude.
false need so that some 17-year-old can say, oh, I've got the best of CCR, and I never play it, right?
Mm.
So
Uh, I feel what you're saying. There's a lot of just kind of like to speak on. Okay, hey, for the customer service, I mean, like that's kind of universal. Like no
right,
matter where you go, it seems that the more established, like McDonald's is a pretty fucking established chain.
yes,
Nobody cares. I mean, like the little girl who's serving you at the counter is very pleasant and will help you and all that. But I mean, at the end of the day, she doesn't care that your burger was messed up. I
no,
mean, she's just gonna, okay, Sandra, give him another burger. Come on, let's
right,
go. Let's go home, right? Like, and I'm not trying to belittle them. I'm just saying, like, I get it, right? Like, you work for a big company, and the big company doesn't necessarily recognize you. You don't care about this job working at McDonald's. It's not like you're a major, you're not the owner of the company. Or anything. It's not, but it's a job, and so you're doing it because it's a job, and hey, you gotta do what you do. Um, so yeah, it sucks having to do a job, but at the end of the day, why are you there if you can't do the job in a fashion that not only complements your title, right? Like, hey, customer service, um, that you are enjoying yourself doing it. Like, why wouldn't you be happy to be engaging with people in a positive manner, right? So I think that there's a lot of depth there, and there's a lot of reasons why people don't want to be pleasant, right? Like it's an extra effort on their part
right,
to make an effort, have extra effort on their part to make an effort. It's an extra effort on their part to just smile. I mean, like, I could just not and ignore you and just keep walking,
right.
or I could turn and acknowledge you, and then I have to deal with you in some manner. So I mean, like at the vape shop that we went to, I won't say any names,
Yeah.
but they weren't that awesome. Um,
And it was
the
simply just the lack of conversation. There was no back and forth.
Yeah, well, from the moment we walked, the dude had a look on his face like, oh, like, and it wasn't like he pulled out was like rolled his eyes. It was that he just didn't make any effort to even acknowledge us beyond just like after we'd been in there for like 2-3 minutes, kind of
Well, and we
what's
had to
going on.
ask him
Like,
to show
yeah,
us
we had
stuff.
to initiate. We had to initiate
The
the whole.
transaction.
And there are other guys that work there that are much more out there, right? So it's not like the company is just a piece of crap. It's the
Yeah,
one particular individual ruined the experience, and that was the first time I brought you there. So,
and I'm not going to
I,
go back.
and I
Yeah,
don't go there that often because it's very limited, and especially when you look at their juices and their mods, they don't have that much, right?
no,
And even the other guy, Mark, around the corner here, he doesn't have that much, but his so yeah, we'll compare in a second. But from going there, yeah, the attitude from this guy set the whole mood. And
right.
it upset me because I was like, damn it, I just brought my friend here, dude. Step it
Yeah,
up. And he didn't. He failed. He failed, and he lost your business. He lost my business. And not just him, the guy who's working there who's just getting paid an hourly wage, but the owner. And the owner failed to recognize what that customer value means, what that customer service effort means in terms of the
Right.
long-term value. So fine, if he's willing to be okay with that, and the other clientele are willing to accept that, then fine.
Well, and
Me,
that goes back to the same thing with the records too, right? You know, I'm going into a place and they don't care because they know people are going to buy it anyways. They just want that new Justin Bieber album. You know, they just want that new Velocity mod, right? They don't care who sells it to them. They don't care if they have to ask for it.
or
They
it's
don't
at
care.
200
They don't care
bucks
to know
more than it
anything
should
about
be.
it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, this is a, you know, special double press vinyl pushed out. This is actually the UK version that we had to ship in because they don't make them here in Canada, right? Like they don't give a shit about that. They
But
just give
in
me
this
and
in
I
the same,
leave, right? That's all
yeah,
that. And some people are like that, and
and that's
it,
okay.
for
It's
them.
okay yeah,
It's
for
not
them.
okay for me.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay for them though. Like I feel again because that level of well, I mean, I can't hate on people for liking Justin Bieber. I mean, I could. I'm not gonna rip into people
It's
for
very
hating
easy.
just.
Yeah,
It's very easy,
yeah.
but yeah, I just think that when we're talking about a culture which has like strong strong roots, not just like on an intellectual level, right? I mean,
Right.
it's like I mean, not that playing records is smart, but that like there's a whole music culture behind vinyl, and it does take a little bit more je ne
Well,
sais quoi. It takes a
you've
little
got to
something
put it
to
on. You've got to turn it over. You don't just hit a playlist and let Spotify play it for you.
and fast forward and rewind, and no, you got to find that spot on the track. You got to get in those
Right.
grooves, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, you
Um,
also have to take care of your record player too,
yeah.
right? You have to make sure that what you're playing isn't going to muck up and scratch your record. I mean, I even bought a no static brush because I noticed with brand new records, they're so loaded with static. And no one told me this when I was buying stuff, right? Like no
And
one
then you
told
get
me like,
extra clumping on your needle, yeah.
well, because there's like the cellophane when you're peeling it off, like just that. Like I felt the static and I didn't know really what that was doing, but then I was playing I was playing a record when you first gave me the record player, and I noticed there was a lot of pop and fizz. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, like how do you get rid of that? I'm like, there's no way. I just bought this damn thing and it's
Already.
scratched, right?
And but you look and you see all the grime building up from
Yeah, so
dust particles or
I just took the static brush and instantly I could tell the difference, right?
wow. That's
Yeah.
cool.
But that's, I mean, that's part of a conversation that, I mean, even the guy that I liked at Speed City, that wasn't something that he said to me. Hey, oh, you're just getting into that. You should probably think about some things about care, eh? You know. But that, I mean, that's
That's wow.
superior. That's superior tier. You can't expect that from everybody, but to at least have something um, reason for you to come back, right?
Yeah.
So on the same note too, I've bought probably half of what I have online, right?
So you're not even
So,
dealing with people in the same
well,
capacity.
you still do. There's no face to face. There's no discussion, and it's kind of weird and hard to do that anyways because you got to do it all by email, or you got to actually call someone on the phone. And we're gonna call them and say like, hey, how does this record play? Is this playing on a 45 or a 33 and a third? It's like, well, just look at the
Yeah.
description on the website, right? But then you have the interaction of them getting it to you. You have the anticipation of waiting for it. You don't have the convenience of having it right there. You walk in, grab it, and leave.
Not instantly gratified, yeah.
But I'm also a very patient person, so I'm okay waiting on it and knowing. Like I've got two records that are coming from the UK that are
It's
now about
exciting.
four
There's a
weeks, right?
yeah.
But
It's
I
exciting waiting on something. There's
yeah
the anticipation, knowing that it's on its way. I mean, when you know it's already supposed to be there, then it's like, okay, now I'm kind of. But when you have something outlined, like
yeah
it'll
when
be
you have the
4 weeks,
tracking
or
number
yeah.
when and you can see that it was picked up and being delivered by FedEx, you trust
Thank,
FedEx, right?
thank you,
Like I
Internet.
got Radiohead's new album. I had to pre-order it, and I think I told you about this. I ended up all the sites were all pre-ordered up or whatever you say it. They were out of stock for this pre-order. because I guess they only get so many, and this is their special edition white LP of their newest album. So I remember from being younger and someone telling me about this site HHV that's all German, but thank you
Okay.
Google translate the entire website, so like you are really doing the entire transaction in English. But that was my first thought. Was like, if I go there, no one that's American is going to bother going to this site to think that they can get it. So sure enough, I go on and they had one, and I ordered it, and because it's a pre-order, I then have to wait for it to actually be released, and then they tell me that it's being shipped. So then it's like 2 days or whatever before they finally ship it to me, and then I get the tracking number, and that's the. I mean, that was a gamble because even then I never actually used the site before. I just heard about it, and it could have been lost. I could have just wasted $60 of my own money on
And
absolutely
then
nothing.
and yeah, what do you got to show for it? Nothing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Other than frustration. Oh, we lost Brad.
Oh, well, Brad dropped out. Bye, Brad. So strike one.
You might come back. I don't know. You
Yeah,
never
he
know.
may or may not. He may have just been busy. So, but then there's other reputable sources that I've got stuff from that um, the experience was mediocre. Like I bought the new Marilyn Manson record, and that came to me with the entire package kind of just beat up, and
Oh, wow. Yeah,
and then the sleeve was torn through the record. The records were in perfect condition.
but
So I
y-
had to
y-
write to them and basically almost beg them to send me a new sleeve. And then again, beg them to get a tracking number because they didn't provide one on the replacement. I mean, so after 2 weeks of this back and forth, because they're on a different time zone than I am, so when I'm trying to contact them, they're not available, and
yeah,
then
unless you're gonna
they're
get up
one.
at 1 in the morning and
Not
yeah,
happening.
right.
Not happening. Or just sit there anxiously and watch my email. No thanks. So eventually they finally sent it back to me, and they did send me a brand new sleeve that was in perfect condition. They even sent me all of the artwork inside and replacement the internal paper sleeves for that too, because those were also damaged. Pretty much everything inside of it was damaged except for the record. So I was
Wow.
really happy that they did that, but the service was still terrible. And
Yeah.
knowing that, because basically you go like I went on to the artist's site. It said order LP. I ordered the LP. It takes me to a third party site. So to know that I'm dealing with someone that the artist approves and they're okay with this happening, that gave me a really just a terrible feeling. I was like, what am I getting into? What am I listening to? Right? Mind you, the record's great. Love it. Absolutely love it. But there's never that guarantee one way or the other. You just got to experience it. So, but
What's sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's one of your worst clients that you've had? Like worst experiences, like in terms of you going out to a store and not necessarily customer service.
Okay.
Even like when you go and you pick up an album and you look at it and you don't even think you're gonna listen to it. You just like, you know what? Today I'm just gonna take a chance. I'm gonna buy this. You spend $23. You take it home. You put it on. And you're like, why did I do this? It looked.
Right.
I thought I knew these artists.
So I am insanely conservative about new music. Um, but I do take the odd gamble with purchases. Like I bought, there's a local artist, Hannah Georges,
Yeah. Okay.
who
Okay.
who does this amazing song, which I heard.
Very, very moving. It's like kind of jazzy,
Oh,
bluey.
oh, I
Oh.
love it. I love it. I just heard this one song. Um,
The bass line is totally. Oh.
so um, I took a chance on that, and I bought the record, and the record it came through. And I don't know, like maybe I win the lottery in that respect because I tend to do that. Just because I know one song is good, the rest of the album ends up being good. And maybe I trick myself, I don't know, but it's not often. And now in a similar respect, I've gone to Value Village, and I have bought a few things from Value Village. And I went there and I looked through their selection, and they had like 80% Engelbert Humperdinck. No word of a lie. That was the majority of what they had. And
Oh,
I'm like, man,
excuse me.
like,
Sorry.
I mean, I'm seeing people online be like, oh, I just got the whole Metallica selection, every record at Value Village just now. I just got everything by Megadeth. I just got every single one of this album, and they all look amazing. It's like, how, like, what, where are you going? But they're just going every day. Because I went back another time because we had to get something else. I don't remember. So I
Hmm.
went back and I just went and I went and I checked out the records, and I was going through them, and they had a completely different selection. I don't know if they rotate the whole thing or what, but it was totally different. And I ended up getting a best of record. I love best of records, by the way. I got a best of
It,
John Denver
it allows
and
for, yeah, okay.
best of Bread, David Gray. Um, some of my favorite music right there from my childhood. Like I know you've got yours, Bowie and Queen probably, but for me it was a lot of American folk music growing up for me, right? So, but then what about you? Like uh, when you have those crappy records, what do you do?
So like there's stuff that I've gone in and like I'll listen to like one track and I like it, and then
Can you sit
like I'll
forward a
hear
little? Your
yeah,
mic.
I'll hear
Yeah.
just a little bit and it sounds good. It sounds really good. Like it's either recorded well or and it's not like that I don't like it. It's just that it never strikes me again.
Right.
And
On a second listen, you mean?
yeah, like on the second, it's like like, this is okay, but like in the store, it sounded more. Maybe they had more better quality stuff,
They had
but
that awesome filter on.
right, yeah, something.
Someone
And
turned off the fucking auto tune, I swear to God.
so yeah, I'll throw it on, and I'll listen to it a couple times, and the, there's some stuff that grows on me, and then there's other stuff that it's just like I feel like there's a time and a place, like
Yeah.
like the chicken dance, like. The chicken dance isn't something I want to play all the time, but if I was ever at a wedding, I'd expect to hear it. You know what I mean?
Wait. You have the chicken dance on record.
Just in case.
That's
You never know.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. To be able to be that eclectic. See, I wouldn't even take the chance. I would be like, no. I know that one song. The rest of that, no, not doing it. But
Yeah.
what do you
See.
do? Do you just keep those records? Do you
Yeah.
resell
Yeah. I
them? Like, at
feel
what point
no.
do
I
you say no?
well, me. I'm a hoarder. Uh, I love having the ability to go to it. Like I have like probably over 120 gigs of music.
I know.
Um,
We share it.
and,
You every time I come over, you copy it to a hard drive or something, and
I failed to do it last time. I'm sorry, but
yeah.
yeah. So I'd rather have it in the collection. If I have duplicates, I could sell it to a friend. No, if you ever want. But
Right, right.
like, really, I like the ability to reference it. I guess I could be like, oh, that album, I have it. Um, but at the same time, I don't have all of it. And I like getting some niche stuff. Stuff that is only good for conversation. Like you can be like, oh, Wham? Yeah, I got some Wham.
Like the
Um,
WOM. Yeah.
Wham?
WOM. Do you
Wham?
got the WOM?
Wham? Do you have the
I like
Wham?
I like the WOM.
Wham it all away. Wham. Whamning, whamning. So yeah, I don't know, dude. The vinyl idea, the whole idea of it, the whole concept. There's definitely a a nostalgia. There's a special little kind of place for aside from just like the digital music collection. Like there's the experience of going to the shop and then having to find new music that's being pressed, and then there's also having your buddy show you something that but like actually having a collection, it kind of demonstrates, if anything, like your love for music. It's just like, no, no, no. I know you like CDs, right? I know you like CDs. You can burn those all day long, whatever. But
Yeah.
bro, I love music. I love like, and there's something. Like, I'm not trying to say that people don't who don't have vinyl don't love music,
Right.
but there's a different way to love music. Like you can listen to jazz, you can listen to rock, you can listen. So there's all different types of music, and so there's different ways. You can listen with headphones, you can listen on your car stereo, you can listen in your home theater, or go to a symphony and actually listen, to real musicians
Right.
playing,
Or going to
right?
a pub even,
Yeah,
or even
wherever.
seeing karaoke, right? Like
Yeah,
maybe that's your thing,
karaoke,
right?
good stuff.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah. So the way I find my love for music is having this physical collection, having this assortment, and part of the nuance of it all is going off to the store, searching, trying to find something, and some randomness because there is so much, right?
Right.
If you knew every single time what you were gonna get, it would take away from, like, if you planned out, like, oh, hey, I know what I want, I'm gonna get it. Like, well, what's the
Right.
point? You've already heard it. You've already heard it. At least here you go and you're like, hey, you know what? I know a little bit by these guys. I'm gonna try it out, right? And then you try it out and you're like, yeah, that's why I only know a little bit. That okay, yeah. If anybody else, maybe somebody's gonna offer me $40 for it one day. I picked it up for $3 at the Value Village,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so there's a level of investment, and then there's also really just like an exploration of music, and I find it to be really fun when I can have a discussion with somebody who's like 30 years older than me, and they're like, oh yeah, that's my had all their albums. I'm like, oh yeah, I've got a couple of their albums too, and they're like, what? You're too young to know that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's
No,
not relevant for you, right? I
yeah,
hear
yeah,
that a
and
lot.
still, I find it to be just as, if not entertaining, culturally inspiring, as it speaks to like a whole multitude of human emotions, and yeah, music is awesome stuff. So yeah, the whole vinyl experience, going down to the shop. If more people did it, it wouldn't be as special, but at the same time, it maybe wouldn't be a bad thing for people to explore music in that physical kind of manner versus the digital, uh, non like you have nothing to show other
It
than a
loses
digital
its
collection.
value. Yeah. It
Like,
loses its value.
but nonetheless, musical knowledge. I mean, somebody who downloads music all day, right? Maybe doesn't even pay for it. That is still valuable. Somebody who has knowledge of music and appreciates it at least.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's
that's
not mutually exclusive, one or the
that's
other, right?
yeah.
But it is different. It is definitely different. But
So you like, okay, so we went from the customer service to then just exploring, and yeah, like when you find some music, sometimes you got to keep it, you got to suck it up, and like there was some Justice. I remember I picked up a Justice album and I was like, no guys, like you missed the mark on this one. I personally
right.
felt that, right? But that was just me. It was too disco-y, right? But the frickin' album cover has a disco ball on it, so I mean, or maybe it was
Well,
Simian Mobile Disco. I mean,
well,
disco's even
what
in
do you
the.
think about your own influence on your own collection, right? I mean, that's a huge part of it.
Oh,
It's
well, yeah.
it's not like you have some curator picking it out and getting it for you, right? Oh, Graham, you'll like this. Oh, Graham, you'll like this, right? You're actually influencing what you're building there.
Well, and you've got to try some new things from time to time, I guess, in order to not get stuck with a bias, right? You don't want to be. Um,
You,
oh, I think my headset is cutting out.
yeah, they better.
I heard it. Well, I was just saying, like, you don't want to buy something just because you know it, right?
Right.
Like, oh, I know Michael Jackson, so I'm going to buy Michael Jackson's albums,
Right.
right? Like you've already heard it, and I mean, okay, maybe it's a collector's item now, and yada yada. But at least if you explore to something that isn't familiar, well, now you've got a new territory.
Well, that's something that I struggle with because I'm just sticking to what I know that I will like. And I mean, there's a slight risk on my end because I haven't fully heard the albums before they're bought, right? Like the Radiohead one, I know that I love Radiohead, and that came out, and I ordered it, and I played it, and I loved it, right?
Mm,
Um, but it's not easy for me to be able to say, oh, try Justice, like you were saying. Like even if you suggested, like, oh, you're Jonathan, you're really gonna like this, I'd still have trouble spending money on it. I would,
yeah, it's yeah. I mean, if you're not feeling it, if it's not already kind of on your list,
right?
yeah. Well, why would you want to invest yourself on that thing there? Hey, I don't want to be too corny here, um,
Okay.
but I think we're having fun just chatting. We've kept it pretty casual. Um, and I don't want to step away from that. I still want to keep this pretty casual. I hope if anybody, I don't think we got really any viewers right now. I don't want to belittle us, but yeah, if anybody is watching this at a later point in time, yeah, no, like I said, I do want to keep this kind of casual, but we're trying to build structure. And part of that is I want to include some moments where we have a smoke break. You know, we get a second to kind of chill out and just maybe think about,
Hmm.
whatever. Even, not even think. Maybe just chill out and,
So tell me, what are you vaping right now?
well, I don't know. Here, let's see if we can do this. I'll be like, and if it's too loud, I need you to give me a heads up right quick.
That's good.
This is okay?
Just right.
I'm waiting for like a bass line to like drop it. So, yeah, no, right now I've actually got a mix. I'm mixing, I've got Rice Krispies. This is all the bootleg. Rice Krispie mixed with Slake.
You like the
And
steak?
I love the Slake. And earlier I had the Tipple in there, which has got butterscotch and melody. And yeah, all these flavors kind of complement themselves, but I was sitting here and I was thinking, blueberry. Blueberry would just be nice to put over top of olives, especially with the Rice Krispie. But a strong blueberry. I don't want like one of these mediocre blueberries that are, oh yeah, this is blueberry. Oh no, I want something that's just like boom, blueberry.
Well, that's what I was saying to your buddy there. Like, like just a straight flavor. They're not easy to come by, right? Like I'm dripping right now. This is the Milkman by One Hit Wonder, and it's the closest straight up strawberry flavor that I can get. Everything else seems to have some other kind of thing to it. I mean, this one's strawberry milk, so it does have a creamy texture to it, but not a creamy flavor as much as just you're really getting a lot of strawberry out of it, and I like that. That's important for me.
I actually have some of the Milkman. It's not in this bottle, but I've got it in another bottle. I'm looking around for it.
But
Um,
you do the you also like a bit more of a complex flavor too.
yeah. Well, I like it's like beer. Like I was thinking about this earlier with the tipple. The tipple's kind of got these accents that come from like they're more mature. It's sweet, but there's something else to it, almost like a whiskey in there.
Hmm.
And those accents, I don't know. I think they're tasty. I enjoy some of that stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick second here.
All right, I will be back. I'll take a bathroom break myself.
Alrighty. So, yeah, I don't know if you're watching right now. This is the Toker's Lounge. We try to be pretty chill, but we also want to be thoughtful. We want to be more aware. And so, I mean, yeah, we're just discussing stuff. This is kind of just the beginnings, getting back into things after a couple of years of not doing Hangouts live. And yeah, we just want to get back to having some fun, enjoying ourselves, enjoying the company of friends, and discussing various things. If you have anything that you want to discuss, please throw a comment in the section below. Or, of course, you can always message me on Google+. I'm always open to new guests, new people coming in here, joining us. We're very open and rational. So, like I said, we encourage your participation. I don't know if I can, if I should, if I will. I'm going to play a song, another song here, just for some little music. I don't know what really to pick other than, here, I'll go to my favorites. I'm using the Google Music, just let y'all know. It is great in the sense that you can just play music that shouldn't be banned by our lovely friends at YouTube who feel that playing music is a crime. Anyways, this is another discussion somewhere else. Hopefully this isn't crazy loud. Probably is. Happy 420 if it is 420 where you are. If it's not, it's 420 anyway, so let's pretend. Somewhere. Whoa, that's pretty crazy. This is a track called Meta Crush by MK2.
We should note as well too that we do this strictly as a leisure thing.
Oh yeah, this is strictly for entertainment.
I don't get a dollar from any products that I discuss or advertise on. It's strictly just for discussion purposes.
We're not vinyl salesmen.
Yeah, or vape salesmen.
But if you think that we would be good vinyl salesmen, please comment. Let us know. We're okay with your ideas and suggestions. So yeah, no, I was playing the music there. I'm gonna switch the mic back. Let's see if this sounds better.
Oh, right, because you had to do the live audio.
Yeah, I gotta swap it over. So I think I got a little notification too that this headset might die soon.
Oh, that's joy. That might be why your audio's been a little bit out. Maybe have it fully charged next time and do it. Yeah.
It told me 4 hours when I put it on. That was less than 4 hours ago.
Just less.
Yeah, about 3.5 hours ago.
Yeah. So you want to reel it in or keep going?
Well, I think we touched on a couple of things there. But one of the main things that I really wanted to jamble on about was the aspect of customer service and how it's not just customer service that these poor attitudes, and I'm sorry if it's being perceived, in an offensive way when I say poor attitude, but when somebody
your mic's cutting.
When someone at work, it has a negative attitude, right? Or not even to say negative, but a non-conductive attitude, like something that's not going to add to the workplace, isn't going to add to a customer's experience.
I like the term non-present.
Yeah, when someone, well, yeah, when their attitude isn't present, they're just not even neutral. Neutral would be like, hello, but yeah, or like they're not even active. Yeah, they're not mentally active. They're just kind of filling a space there or something. I don't know, but it really would be nice if you could engage with people on a level that wasn't constantly challenged by this willingness in society to kind of be like, oh well, you don't have to. You don't have to be nice. So don't do anything that you don't really have to. They ordered a burger, give them the burger, and that's it. And I feel that as a society, we would benefit more from being able to just have more niceties. I mean, it's not always about enforcing a politeness like to law, but at least having that desire within society itself. Like, don't you just like if you're in a customer service role, just as an example, wouldn't you want the customer to be happy with your service? Therefore, they come back and ensure that you're gainfully employed.
Right. Right. Unless you're a niche market, like some of these
Vape
vinyl
store
salesmen think
or
they are, or the vape stores
yeah,
think they are.
yeah.
But they're the only ones that sell this stuff. It's like, well, that's great. You sell, but they sell it very similar at a very similar price. Only they're friendlier. In fact, their stuff's inferior to yours, but I'm still going to go there. And the prices are more. I'm still going to go there simply because they talk to me.
They talk to me.
Well, I mean, yeah, mind you, I've had my fair share of purchasing things from inadequate sources that might uh, not be a pleasant experience. Um, ex-girlfriends, but there's there's no there there there's there's learning in that, right? There's knowing what you'll accept. There's also knowing, okay, well, you just give it to me. I just want to go, right? And living with it. So you
There's
have
there's a level of what you're willing to accept. Yeah, there's like
always,
when you get a burger and the guy throws it at you, you're like, hey, what the fuck, dude?
yeah.
Like when I said throw me
Or
my burger, that's not what I meant.
or like
Um,
we went to that Wendy's, right? While we were practicing, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you asked them to put mustard on your burger. And they didn't even say to you, we don't do that. They didn't even say that. They just handed you the burger and tried to play it off like you didn't ask for it. Or maybe they forgot, whatever the heck it is. And you bring it to their attention. And instead of going, hey, like let's at least let this guy feel like he's saying
A
something.
valued customer, yeah.
Instead they're staring at you and snickering and looking like you're a
Like
complete moron. Like how
like
dare you ask
we
me for
don't
anything?
do mustard. Like it's a burger joint. Mustard is a staple of burgers.
And then we go to
Maybe
another chain restaurant, the exact same chain. You ask them, they did it.
no problem. Not even a question about it.
Not a single thing. And see, that's really bad because that's an inconsistency of service inside of the same
One
business.
one business, yeah.
That's just sad. And the fact that they're looking at you like you're an idiot when you're trying to bring this to their attention, right? Maybe like if I was a manager of that place, I'd be like, really? Like they do that? Man, we really should start doing that too,
Yeah, if this guy's obviously, and I'm sure there's others.
right? Or I mean, if it's such a point where it's like, you know what, sir, I'm so sorry for that. I do apologize. We honestly just do not have mustard in anything but packages, right? But they didn't even do that. They just said, okay, well, thank you, bye. Like I'm gonna listen to you until you walk away. Like that's it. It's like, all right, yeah, you're obviously mad, so I'm gonna just listen to you because you're mad, not because you have a valid point. That's kind of terrifying and upsetting in the same realm. It's not like you're going in there asking them like, "Hey, give me put some motor oil on that." No, I can't hear you.
There we go. Okay. So, sorry. Last point we were on was with refresh my memory. So we were just talking.
Service in general.
Yeah, with and then the mustard. So yeah, to have that inconsistency from one chip from one branch to another. Yeah, it was kind of like really like why what huh? So yeah, it is kind of challenging to see that and when the demand is there, like that's the weird part for me is that it's not like it's like such a uncommon. It wasn't like I asked for them to put uh, marinara sauce or like I asked for even marinara sauce wouldn't be that far off.
Well, you're asking them to rotate your tires on your car,
Yeah, thank
right?
you. Right? Like I didn't
Right.
say, well, yeah, could you rotate the tires on my
Yeah.
no? Why not?
Yeah, and it would like they would look at you all apologetically then too, like, I'm so sorry, we don't do that. It's like, well, that's okay to be reasonably kind of perturbed by, right? But to ask about something that's clearly part of it, right? And like and it was the same thing with that one store that I told you that I went to, and I asked the guy about that turntable. It's not like I was asking him something completely out of the blue. I was just saying, what about that one over there? Oh, that one's $300. Well, thanks. I can see the price tag, you fucking idiot. Right?
Like it would have been nice if you at least said, well, the motor on this one is quiet spin,
Yeah.
right? Like if that's all you fucking know about it, right? This is
Yeah,
quiet
anything.
spin. This one's got reverse play. This one over here, you can adjust the pitch. This one's made by Sony, right? Like whatever, right? That's all you know about it. This one's made by Sony.
Or even say,
It's
like,
got
you
a
know
power
what?
button.
Honestly, I don't even know that much. If you want, Jeff's here on Tuesday. Talk to Jeff,
Oh,
right?
isn't that a beautiful? I mean, and it's kind of like the best way to not give a shit, right? Is to just defer to somebody else. To say,
Yeah.
hey, honestly, I'm not going to bullshit you.
Yeah. I
I
really
really,
don't know.
I don't know. And that, like, as a customer, you're like, thank you. Like, I appreciate you at least told me you don't know
Yeah.
instead of giving me false information, and you've referred me into somewhere like 'cause you at least know enough to say, oh well, this is the guy I would ask.
But that's a whole other world too, where people are so afraid to be wrong or called out on something. This invisible film that, like a wet blanket that we put over ourselves and said, like, no, I'm perfectly fine. Don't bother asking me to get up, right? I got this.
Yeah,
I'm
I
going to be
can
able
do
to
it.
get through this. I know how to bullshit, right? And that's not, you're not going anywhere with that. I mean, if that those people that are coming to you that need that sort of service are the type of customers that need to be changed. They're the people that in this world need to be more open and need to understand things more. If someone's coming up to you and going like, "What the heck is that?" and be like, "Oh, that's $300," and they go, "Oh, okay." Right? Those people are the ones that you need to wake up. You need to give them something a little bit more shocking. You need to jump into them and say like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I know lots about this," and they go, "Oh, shut up. I don't
Right.
care what you know about it. How much is it?" That's all I was asking.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, if you would have just said how much it was, I would have told you. And
So I
since you
mean,
asked, right? Like,
to get to like a deeper issue is these people like you were speaking about like the person who comes in and buys the Justin Bieber album, right?
okay,
Or goes and like from my experience, somebody who buys some really nice techniques and then buys the Justin Bieber album. Like really really nice like DJ equipment or some Newmark or whatever that's and they got a mix and then they're also doing it sitting at home and listening to the albums. They're not mixing. They're not doing. And it's just like you got all the gear, you got all the cool stuff because you could afford it, but you didn't do anything with it. And so whatever, that's their choice. That's their
yeah,
choice.
while doing it symbolically, right? Like,
But
oh, I've got a Mac.
it's like virtue signaling for like yeah, look how cool I am, look how good I am, look how nice I am with all this stuff. But do I have any depth or substance? And not trying to say like I do, like I'm like better, right? But I just feel as though they've grabbed onto something that to me I've worked at, and they're just kind of jumping in with like a whole bunch of money, and they're like, if you show them the older album, you're like, check out this Yaz album. They're like, Yaz, who's Yaz? You're like, yeah,
It's like, that's stupid. He doesn't even do a dubstep remix.
right. Like
Where's the drop?
yeah, where's the drop? And you're there like, okay, well, like, there's more music than just the current music, right? There's other stuff out there that is building to what we have now. Like, if you want to hear some pretty trippy stuff, like go listen to ELO, right? Like go just put on fucking Led Zeppelin, dude. Fucking like and I'm being so cliche, but still, like, put on a Led Zeppelin album and listen to that, and tell me that you don't hear a whole bunch of that stuff. And even Led Zeppelin stole from other artists, and there's some stuff in court right now, yada yada. But the whole thing is that there's a progression through the history of music to what we have now, to the variety we have now. There was a variety before, but now everything's pretty elaborated.
And then we'll do, yeah. Leads up to it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. And when I see somebody who just doesn't have time for the things that I've like going and like, just having to pick through piles of vinyl to find like just one good thing at these like secondhand shops, it felt like a form of like I don't know, like just
Like a meditation?
almost the level of meditation, like where you're in the zone, you're in like you're perfecting you're tweaking and pulling at the strings of like music history, and pulling out all these like little bits to add to yourself, right? Like you're like, what musical armor can I pull from this? What steed can I find? Like what power can I erupt out of this dead volcano of old vinyl? And there's something to be said about that whole experience, having to go through the crappy stuff to find some good stuff, versus being able just to go off and buy like the latest hot stuff, which sounds awesome. You fucking boom. Yeah, it sounds awesome, dude. And your equalizer, your fucking mixer, your everything, you paid fucking $4,000 for everything, and you got some badass shit. Okay, I love it. But do you know, like, I don't listen to that. Okay, fine, cool. So
I get what you're saying. And
different fabric.
For me, I want to have that, but I'm terrified at the same time. But the way that you just framed it, the end result is definitely worth all of those hits, those hits as in like pain, the notches that you're taking out of yourself, the time that you're spending wasting even. I mean, if you found these records, you've gone through 20 and you barely get them, and then boom, gold. Right? I think for me, that's what I really do want. I just got to get over the fear and just get out there. I like that.
Well, yeah, commit yourself to something in a manner that feels satisfying, right?
Yeah. I think that's a good note. A good note to kind of summarize a lot of what.
And I guess you can't hate on other people who want to enjoy something for what they feel it is, right? So if somebody else
definitely
is going to throw $4,000 at a whole bunch of gear because they can, and they're enjoying it, and it satisfies them for the moment, I mean, that's their impulse, that's their desire, that's whatever. is not a reflection of you. So you can't get angry just because somebody else is doing something differently, or not you, but like I shouldn't. I shouldn't go and be like, "Oh, you poser," right? Because at one point I was, the poser. I was the kid who didn't have, the money to go out and spend the money, so I had to fake it by buying the cheap stuff at the Goodwill. You know what I mean? Like so.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel I went through it, but it was awesome. It was awesome, and I still try to get out to the odd Goodwill
And
to
worth it. I mean, I sat there and I looked through your collection. I didn't even look through one of your I guess it's like a 12 by 12 stack that you've got there, right? Where you've got them into little sections in your bookcase of sorts. I didn't even look through one of those, and I found 3 records that I wanted to borrow and listen to, right? And I love them, right? Just just by going in and pulling those things out, and like even if those records, even if you never enjoyed them, me enjoying them, that's good too.
So speaking of collections, like libraries,
Okay.
right? Like I mean, it's an auditory library, if you will, right?
Yes.
And I mean, you could go and download digital books, and you could have your friend come over, and you guys can stare at your iPad, but there's something to be said about actually being able to take a physical book, flip to a page, hand that page to your friend, and then say, "Here, take this book, read it."
Yeah.
And then they don't have to right there, but they have the book with them, and
Yeah.
they're going to bed, and instead of picking up they have this physical object, and there's something different to doing that. It's analog. I don't know. Is it analog? Like, yeah, in some way, I would argue it is, and
Right.
like versus the digital reading, right? So you have analog reading, analog audio. Um, so I, I think that there is something within that there, and I ah, ah, I think, yeah, collections and sharing, being
Right.
able to share, touch and feel. I mean, like the internet is great. We can learn so much, but we can't touch. We can't touch the feathers. We can't touch the fur. We can't touch the whatever fur. We can't touch the whatever it may be on the internet. And so, yeah, being able to have these physical objects, whether it be the idea of just sheer possession
Right.
or interaction, right?
Right. Right.
Being able
Right.
to interact.
Well,
Yeah,
because I mean, there are. I mean, you can jump over those hurdles, if you will, of getting things to work in a similar way, but you don't think to work them that way when they're not right in front of you, right? Like, like you've got a ton of music, and I think the past, I'd say probably 10 times I've stopped by, I haven't bothered to really go through your music collection on your computer. But, I saw your records there and I was like, hey, I'm started collecting, and I just looked, and just that in that quick few moments of browsing, I ended up finding 3 that I thought I would really like, and now I know, and they're records I've never heard before, right? But I do like them, right? And it's like, yeah, that's good. And it's not like you even picked them out for me. I just grabbed them myself. Right? I'm like, hey, I'm gonna check these out.
that's
Right?
kind of
But like,
comforting.
yeah, but in the digital sense, I wouldn't even have bothered, right? Because they're
Well,
just it's
what's the
so,
obligation?
and it's such a low commodity because it's like you've got so many, I've got so many. Shit, I'm gonna take it home. I'm gonna put it on my computer, and then they're
I'll
gonna listen to it,
I'll
right?
take yeah, I'll take everything. I'll just copy everything, and then I'll just hit random, and maybe it might come up. If it doesn't,
Right,
whatever.
right. And then after 19 years of music, I come across that gem, right?
Right? Where in vinyl, yeah, you get the whole album, you get their whole thing, or greatest hits maybe, and then you've got to kind of pick it up. You got to pick up the needle, find the beginning, right? Which isn't too hard, and you listen and you got the intro. Okay, well maybe we'll hear the next track. You get the next track. Okay, yeah, next track. Oh, yeah, I recognize this. Yeah, this is good. This is good. You listen to it, and then the fourth song starts, and you're like, where were they going with this, right? And so then you get to the fifth song, you're like, I can see this is the sixth song. By the seventh song, you've gotten back into the swing of things. You feel okay. These guys got it going back. And the eighth song, it's like again off. You're like, where? So yeah, like it's kind of interesting. You have to you can pick up and search through the songs almost like you would digitally, but there's this interesting. It's not like with uh, Google Play or something where you just get one track. It's like you get the snippet or you get like a sample of like 3 songs from the main album or something. You get to listen to that. Like here you have the whole album, and you really got to kind of find a sound in it that appeals to you.
Right.
And yeah, sometimes it doesn't do it, and you just okay. I didn't like that, but I had to explore it a little bit, right? And I mean that's being impatient, right? Picking up the needle and searching. That's what I do at a store, right? I'll be like, okay, next.
That's different though. That's consumer
A little bit, but at the same time, yeah, you want to hear
sampling.
kind of samples of the artist. You want to be able to at least pick up, what do they got, and then maybe from the not just basing it off the album art, right? Like if you're looking for a new artist, you probably should. But
Get something
yeah,
out of it.
there's sometimes like I would pick up just whatever, and yeah, it would just be because of the album art.
But there's a discovery in it.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is something to be gained from it. It's not that it's just strictly that. Like it's like either the artist is interesting or maybe they're mediocre, right?
Right.
But yeah, it's something. It's still something to be added to the collection.
Yeah. Well, one thing I wished that someone had told me about was these plastic sleeves that you can put on them. And I'll give you an example. I got this David Bowie album, and it's got this cutout, right? And without the plastic sleeve, these catch, right? So I'm putting it in, and I caught and tore the corner. But having this plastic sleeve, I can now slide it in and out
No problem.
and not have to worry about that. I
I wish I had
wish
thought of that. I wish I had thought of that.
I wish that someone had told me that.
You
Um,
actually are the one to tell me that, because I never thought about that for particular albums. Like even if the customer service clerk, they should have given you one of those with the thing.
well, yeah, I mean that's again with the superior service package, right?
Yeah.
Not something that just comes out
Like
of it.
when I go to rotate this downtown,
They
every
always do
time the
that.
guy's just like, "Here, oh, you want an extra?" Just
Yeah,
like I spent $150 here, right? Like today.
yeah. Give me the 3 cent piece of plastic.
Yeah, yeah, no problem, no problem. And you can buy them if you need them, but
That's what I
yeah,
did. I bought a pack of 50 for $20,
there you
right?
go. No, still even yeah. Where was that? At the Groove?
That I
In the
did get
Groove?
at Sunrise.
Hmm.
I did get at Sunrise, and it wasn't because they suggested it. I actually asked because I saw a couple of their like limited edition, like like behind the counter, they always have the really nice stuff, right? And I saw a couple things in there that had these plastic sleeves. I'm like, hey, do you sell those? Or do you have some I could get? And he's like, actually, yeah, we do sell them. And he just pulled up a stack of them. He's like, oh, it's $20. I'm like, you know what, worth it. And I don't care. So, but definitely something that I wish I had from the beginning because even something with a foil on it, you can see the foil starting to wear. You can see the edges catching on things, little bit of a crush
Yeah, that kind of
on
starts
the
to. It
foil.
hurts. It hurts.
Yeah.
Right. Those
So
little things.
yeah, so having something to even create some kind of barrier to save what it is, I'm good with that completely. So
I got some cookies. I couldn't stop. Um. So, I mean, we've like again, we've kept it pretty casual here. Oi. Yeah, I've enjoyed being able to keep it so friendly and chill.
Yeah.
Uh, I think as we go on, we want to, definitely build more focus, more direction.
Right.
But for anybody who is watching, yeah, we appreciate you taking the time to, join us. If you have, again, any comments, any suggestions, ideas, please like, subscribe, comment below, and let us know, what you think, if you have any questions. I mean, really, we want your involvement and ideas or suggestions on what we should be talking about in here. If you didn't like vinyl, well, that's too bad. We talked about it. But maybe you have something better to talk about and you want to hear about it. So you can throw it at us. We might choose to talk about it.
You and I also are interested in it, right? If
Yeah.
there was another person in here that wasn't, we'd still hear them out and listen to
Yeah.
what they're saying.
Yeah. Like, if you want to join us in the Hangout, you can always message us. Jonathan, myself.
So
There's
I'm John's not here.
Yeah.
Graham
You
Cat.
Yeah, I am the Punder Cat.
Punder Cats ho.
I punder cat ho.
Yeah. How about you take that little diddly there you got and see us out with some nice big cloud of smoke, bud. How about that? Nice finish off to our little Toker's Lounge session. Thanks everybody for joining us.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice chilling. I would actually like it.
Too.
I would like it if you get some more people to come out. Just chill, keep it chill, chat. But still, we gotta break something down. We gotta come up with some philosophies here. We gotta come up with some ideas because we're free thinkers. We're not limited. We're not stuck. We're moving. We're progressive. We're ideal in the sense that we're rational. I don't know. Am I crazy? Maybe a little.
Sometimes.
Yeah, like I said, I am the Thunder Cat. We have Jonathan, who is not here. John's not here. And good.
I am here. I am here.
We got, thank you. I'm glad. My buddy Sam, my buddy Brad, they were around. They're lurking, doing the thing.
It's a learning process.
As we progress, as we proceed, to keep to what you need in the sessions, I just want to have fun and learn something.
Yeah.
Something like that. Cheers.
Cheers, bud.